team ban.
All right, hello and welcome back, everyone, to more CEVO-Main Season 3 action. We're getting into the second game here in a best of 3 between Trial Run and Team Rewind. I'm Helium, and joining me again is Orbit.
Yeah, pretty quick game one. Trial Run definitely looking to make it a 2-0 sweep, and Rewind trying to rewind their last loss, try to make it to a game 3 here. And looks like similar bans from the last game, the Lich as well as Elder Titan band, and I would not be surprised at all if we see a Pugna band. And then the last one was a Naga Siren, so we'll see if that happens again.
Well, yeah, 2 of the top 4 most banned heroes already taken the fall, Lich and Elder Titan. As you mentioned, we'll actually head over to the drafting screen right now. And, well, I feel like Luna's a pretty good hero in the current metagame, and we already saw Phaeton playing it there nicely in the mid lane, interestingly enough. And, of course, they could run it aggro, they can run it defensive safe, solo safe. Strong hero that apparently Trial Run likes, so Rewind taking it out. And that's my favorite part about best of threes. The drafts do sort of change up after a couple games get played out.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, it didn't... The Luna ban, it's just from the first game. It's a respect ban in all, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant team,
yeah.
pick.
Vino, though, that's a really early Vino ban. And this opens up a lot for Rewind to pick here. There's definitely Timbersaw available. There's Pugna available. And, yeah, Death Prophet. Cough, cough. Oh, still a good hero.
I like Pugna a lot more than the Death Prophet, to be honest. I think Pugna is just... He gets going pretty early on. He can apply a lot of damage if anyone tries to gank his lane for him with the Nether Blast early on. Like, sure, Crypt Swarm is good, but both Crypt Swarm and Nether Blast are very, very spammable, and Pugna is a hero that can grab a tower in a lane that's maybe not as contested very, very quickly before 6 without using an ultimate that is on cooldown and dictates you fighting, as we see. Viper picked up first. A very, very annoying hero.
Yeah. The thing I don't like about Pugna, though, is the fact that I don't like laning him mid. I think he's very easy to gank mid because he's a very squishy hero. I mean, he has 800 health. Yeah, I mean, you can deal with a Pugna mid. The thing I like about a Death Prophet is that I don't feel as bad running it in a carry lane because of the fact that it does so much damage and is so beneficial to team fights as well as pushing. So I don't mind giving it the carry farm. But Pugna giving a Pugna carry farm is a lot more different in my opinion, and I don't like it enough to run mid either. So I'm very on the fence about that hero. I do not doubt that it's an amazing hero. It's just hard to find a place to lane it, really.
Yeah, I agree. And that always was Pugna's problem, and even with the recent buffs, it's still Pugna's problem, but seeing quite a bit of play because of the recent 6.79 changes. As well, we see Alchemist picked up once more, and it looks like a hero that Trial Run maybe would have even wanted in the first game, as they opted to pick second both games. So Trial Run goes with the Visage first pick with the Alchemist, maybe looking to roam up a Storm once again. Worked for them well. Very well in game.
2 very easy ones. Yeah, really easy heroes to roam with as well. And I mean, they had such good success with the Alch in that first game that, I mean, if it worked once, why not try it again? If it's broken, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. And it definitely, wasn't. Unless you're Ice Frog, like Nature's Prophet Treants, you should fix that.
Broken, please fix.
Yeah, broken, please fix. I guess that doesn't even apply to the idiom, but I just wanted to say it anyways. They are very annoying. Not taking aggro on the lane like that, but I guess, you know, one of the strengths of Nature's Prophet, who maybe we'll see him picked up again. Rewind picked it, was it first or second there on their draft in game 1, and they ended up running it in the mid lane, which was interesting, not where you normally see Nature's Prophet, and they didn't have a lineup to facilitate putting Nature's Prophet in the mid lane.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to run it again. And if they are, it's going to be offlane / jungle. It did not work at all. In fact, it failed quite spectacularly, I gotta say, in the mid lane. 0-5 so early into the game because of the amount of pressure that the supports are putting on that lane. And the fact that he didn't really have any wards, any defensive wards, showing the potential gank routes. But Venge gonna be the second pick now. That's a pretty interesting hero. The V strat here, Visage, Viper, and Vengeful Spirit being picked up by both teams here.
And Venomancer
banned as well, yeah.
Yeah, so does that take care of all of them? I'm trying to think of any more. No, I think that's maybe all.
I'll try to remember.
I don't know. That's off topic, but
10
whatever.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, okay. Strong stun early on that Vengeful Spirit with the Magic Missile. Makes her great early, and it's so powerful that it's her entire mana pool, so... Yeah, she could get it done. Maybe want to pick up a Magic Stick early if she's going to be roaming around, just to maybe have the option of getting 2, but... Great support going into the late game because of the armor reduction on the Howl, as well as the Vengeance Aura, or Command Aura. I don't know what it's called. I can't get it straight. It is Vengeance Aura. And then, of course, Swap, it just punishes positioning. Of course, Venge usually sacrifices herself for it, but it's so strong late game, not only because of her passives and the armor reduction, but the ability to catch out heroes. Even if they have a BKB, you can swap back into 5. You're going to die if the other team's not prepared for it. And the bans come out. It's Night Stalker receiving some indirect buffs because of the Night Cycle, and to his ultimate, the vision reduction on Darkness. Gets banned out. The Pugna finally drops, and it is Crystal Maiden once again being banned out here by Trial Run.
Yeah. The only thing they have to be scared of with the swap is that they don't swap the Alchemist. I don't think they can really right-click him down before his team can help out. I think Visage is a really prime target for swapping aggressively, because you can just melt him. Invoker, oh boy, really strong hero. Pretty tough hero to play properly as well, though. But because of the stun on the Alchemist, if they're going to run it like a roaming support again, the follow-up Sunstrike is going to happen. They're going to communicate properly with that one if they're going to run an Exort mid Invoker. But still, a hero that can be punished mid. Viper, not necessarily a hero that can do it that well, but there are certain heroes that can really shut down an Invoker mid.
Like OD,
TA comes to mind.
Who is still available.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like OD, even with the base damage reduction and even without the Essence Aura procs, just putting Invoker under with low base damage early on. Invoker's base damage, that is, even going to be way lower than even OD's recently modified base damage. It really hurts Invoker, even going Exort. We'll see if they want to do that. Viper is going to have a pretty fun time, though. I don't think he's going to be too upset.
It's okay.
He generally wins lanes. But Invoker's got, pretty decent range, and is going to be able to stay back as well.
Exactly. He can play very defensive and then just wait for ganks from his roaming supports if they're going to roam again. TA, another hero that comes to mind that does really well in the laning phase against an Invoker. So they could potentially run that as well. It has really nice minus armor potential as well with the Vengeful Spirit's Howl. We'll see if that's what they decide to do. In fact, I would love to see a minus armor strat coming out. I don't think teams are experimenting as much with it. I've seen some, but heroes like Venge, Slardar, Dazzle, TA, those types of heroes compounded together are really strong in team composition. They're instead going to go for Alina. Really nice follow-up stun to the Vengeful Spirit's stun there to its magic missile. So some burst potential on the supports, and even some roam potential. So could be 2 roaming here supports.
Yeah, they could indeed. And Lanus, I feel like she's sort of fallen out of favor recently. Not too sure why. Maybe because of her main bro, Shadow Demon, has definitely fallen out of play as a very, very defensive support, or even a setup support. We see him a lot less, and maybe that's just because more heroes have been added in, especially defensive tri-lanes now.
5 seconds remaining.
SD Kunkka pops up every now and again, but Lina, we'll see what happens. I expect Invoker to go Exort, but if he goes Wex right now, then that's basically Lina never getting off a Laguna Blade in these team fights unless she opens with it.
Yeah, I think Lina, the added buff to her range, she has, I think, 650 range now. So that's the highest without spell interaction in the game. Of course, not including Sniper's added range there. But, like, I don't know.
Wyvern, but he's not in yet.
Yeah, I think Lina, the problem with Lina in the current version is that there are so many mobility heroes that just destroy heroes like Lina. Like a Storm Spirit, if it does pretty well, Lina's never going to do anything in the fights. Because it's too hard to land a stun like that. You can maybe get off your ulti and your wave, but that's pretty much it before you die. Lone Druid going to be picked up. So once again, a very tanky approach to team compositions by Trial Run. Last time they ran Timbersaw, Ogre, as well as Alchemist. Very tanky heroes. This time, Lone Druid, Alchemist yet again. And, what better way to deal with tankiness than to take the hero that pretty much counters that, the Lifestealer.
Yeah, he definitely does. The one down, I feel like Lifestealer does very well against Lone Druid, and if you put them in a 1v1 lane, Lifestealer can do amazing because of the way Feast interacts with the bear, able to get so much HP back, as well as obliterate the bear, dealing with the harass from the Spirit Bear. But taking it super, super late, or even into past level 5, you are able to be rooted through the Rage, and that can be pretty annoying when you're playing Lifestealer. You rage up, you expect to be able to get it done, and then all of a sudden you get one hit entangled. It can definitely slow you down on the Lifestealer, but really nice setup there with the Venge to start things off. Lifestealer can get in close now that you have to, because Open Wounds, of course, the range scales level to level, and then Lina to put in some more follow-up damage. So very strong, maybe even possibly aggressive tri lane right there. We'll see what they want to do. Viper could solo safe, he could mid if they want to do that. And there you go, the counter of all counters to Lifestealer. Team
heroes. Bear.
Yeah, Team Bear right now. Protect the bear. Someone spam that in the stream chat, please.
It's like jungle strat. Invoker's a zookeeper. They've got like the bat there with Visage, 2 bears, and I don't know what the hell Alchemist is.
He's like the circus portion of it. He's like the freak, you know? Okay.
As a thank you to all the viewers actually for tuning in, I'll give you guys a really cool tip. This is something I figured out very, very recently and is actually a massive kind of exploit you can do. Lifestealer against Bear, the interaction with Hatchet on Lifestealer works so that it gives the bonus damage against the bear, the Spirit Bear. So you can do massive damage with Feast, decently leveled, as well as a Quelling Blade against Spirit Bear. And please do not spread that, because don't spread that one, guys. Just keep it a secret as a thank you for tuning in. It's pretty massive. I've been running some good tests on that, and you can really easily run Lifestealer in the off lane against a safe bear and completely shut it down. But yeah, keep that on the DL. Yeah, I want to run that soon.
Charges for this, so you better listen to him. And I did not know that. That's actually kind of ridiculous.
Cool, huh? Yep.
Wow. I wonder if I mean, I've definitely cast a couple of games where Lifestealer's been going against Lone Druid. Not so much recently, but I wonder if that was being done at that time. I'm sure most of the upper echelon of players are already aware of that.
No, actually. I think only one pro player that I know commonly does it.
Alrighty, well, here we go.
Not gonna disclose.
What?
I'm not going to disclose his name, though, because... Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a theory crafter.
A theory crafter. Well, that's why we bring you on these casts for insightful tips like that. Here we go, though. The Dire on Trial Run. It's going to be Pon playing that Alchemist once again, supporting this time on the Visage. Why not pick Ogre again? I guess too many melees. I don't know. Visage though going to be great here, played by Arish. Phaetan going to be going into the main lane here on the Invoker, and it's a Spirit Bear and a Lone Druid. So of course, or excuse me, Spirit Bear from Lone Druid and Ursa. Roshan attempt going out. Arash going to get caught out. The orb from Puck, who was actually the last pick. Arash lives. Oh, no. Stuns go out. Action is definitely going down here. The Bear, no untangles yet. Of course, at just level 1, looking to be a force. Arash actually will salve back up, and that was the attempt to take a level 1 rush from Trial Run. And that's, I guess we didn't even hint at it because of the pro tips we were being given. But yeah, I feel like it was a pretty obvious lineup here for Trial Run on the Dire to go ahead and try this.
That was a bit of a mistake. I think Puck could have jaunted and gotten the first blood.
Yeah,
that mistake definitely cost them first blood. So really vital. And now no one wants to leave the Roche area because it's really easy for them to go right back in and do it. And yeah, everyone's just staying here. It looks like finally... Are they? I don't even know.
They're like, alright, we gotta go to lane eventually. We can't just sit here at the Roche pit. Looks like they finally will. And I don't know if... Did we finish the instructions? Pon Alchemist. We've got Araj on the Visage. Invoker in the mid lane will be Phaeton one more time. Here on Hatchinx, the Ursa, who we mentioned very good against Lifestealer, but actually very annoying to play versus Viper. So a double-edged sword there. And then last but not least, it's Brocraft playing the Lone Druid now in the mid lane.
Yep. Did you go over the Radiant? I can't remember.
I did not.
I don't think so.
Right
okay,
now.
So... it's going to be in the top lane, Verithus going up against the Invoker, actually. That's pretty surprising. I would have expected the Lone Druid to be there. Instead, they're running Lone Druid mid against a Puck. Really surprising, actually. I don't think...
Well,
I think it's ideal
to
still.
Dodge the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Lone Druid doesn't do horribly unless you manipulate certain aspects of that lane. But actually, wow, Alchemist going to stun himself. That's a big issue. The follow-up stun comes from Lina. They're not going to do as much damage as they thought. And actually, Venge is going to go down for the first blood. Looks like Visage is going to get that one. And the stun follow-up running now. Alchemist going to cast that onto the Viper. Ursa chasing a really nice two-man stun, though. Completely seizes the action there. And I will continue to introduce the teams, really. It's going to be Atmo on the Viper. Ardipithecus, I can't even read that properly. Artie going to be playing the Lina. And finally, the Vengeful Spirit, who unfortunately went down there, is the Cats.
Alright, and that gets the introductions out of the way. Of course, First Blood did occur before that, and it does go over to Trial Run. It's Arij on the Visage. Visage getting First Blood. I know we are all shocked. Does get it. Soul Assumption flies out. But it was close the other way around. Not only was it close, it was actually Arish who almost died at the Roche pit, and then getting Pon very low down here in the bottom lane. But they are able to heal up. They use a bit of their regen. And this mid lane matchup, how annoying will the Spirit Bear be? Oh, against Puck. But Puck is actually last. Puck rotates top now because they definitely, over on Team Rewind, they did want this Lifestealer versus Lone Druid matchup.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, he's doing pretty well so far. He doesn't really care about any harassment because, I mean, he right-clicks the bear once and gets 60 health back, so
yeah, it is
what's there to worry about?
And he doesn't have a certain item that was brought up earlier. And it's still that strong, very strong. Bot lane, this is a pretty defensive tri-lane here with the Viper being brought down. Yeah, they gave up a kill early, but I think they overextended to commit killing that Alchemist, and it didn't work out, so they were able to counter-initiate on that. And of course, Alchemist, when he's supporting, is just going to go Acid Spray on Stable Concoction. He looks to be throwing out a stun will, and you know, it's 122 damage, but they're not going to be able to capitalize on it. And up top of this matchup, which is now Invoker versus Puck, which I feel like is pretty even already in the mid lane with Elevation. Here on level footing, what do you think?
The Puck versus Invoker, yeah, definitely pretty even. I think it favors Invoker a lot because he is in the safe lane, and because he's getting the extra levels in Exort, so he has a very big damage buff. Also considering the fact that Puck can't really bottle Crow here, or he didn't even actually opt to go for the bottle, in fact going for boots instead. Invoker going to chase him off the lane pretty easily, and actually, some pings now from purple down onto this bot lane. That's surprising. I'm not too sure why. I wanted to talk about this 3v3 lane though, and actually before I do that, it looks like a potential kill here on the... Nope, Lina escapes. Wow. So the stun goes off on her, but she manages to juke her way into the woods. But if you compare the damage output coming out of both of these tri-lanes, I gotta say it's an advantage for the Dire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the burstiest heroes in the game, this Ursa here, with now a point in Earth Shock, Overpower, and Fury Swipe. So he can get in close, he can slow you down, and then he can maul your face off with Fury Swipes. Visage with Soul Assumption, the strongest burst damage spell in the early game, and then Concoction even with physical damage. It's really strong. So definitely a good point. But Viper is annoying, and he's going to be able to protect his supports, and the Corrosive Skin even as well to slow the attack slow. It's going to be kind of hard to get the kills, I think. Mid looks like they're going to go on mid right now. The stun goes off onto the bear. Follow-up stun as well from the Lina. Really easy kill. Nice play. And there's that entangle we're talking about. Yes, they get the kill, but maybe if there was some other backup, Verithus gets entangled up there. It's annoying, it slows him down, it goes through rage as well. And is it actually Verithus the Lifestealer that picks up the kill? So doing nicely for himself. He's got 1,200 gold, yet to buy boots, or even, oh, he's not in the mid lane, he probably wouldn't buy a bottle anyways, but yet to buy anything, maybe going for a Midas.
I hope not.
I don't
think it's that good here.
Especially when you're going to be out manned in the late game, and we've got a Lone Druid, an Ursa, and an Alchemist, and even an Invoker who's doing well and has a Midas, which is
so
okay
the phase
because he's Invoker and he's going Exort. I feel like it's definitely needed.
Yeah. The phase pickup then is very important there, and they're going to want to be active here. And nice stun there by the Lina. Is he going to get off this stun? Wow, Visage and Viper unfortunately gets in range, but the Sunstrike goes off and kills the Venge. And it looks like action continuing here in the bottom lane with the 3 against 2 now that Venge has gone down. But actually, no, it looks like they're just going to give up for the time being.
Yeah, and you mentioned the burst in this Dire tri-lane being better just in the lane 3 versus 3, and we at that time, we didn't even really mention the Invoker with the Sunstrike from afar for more damage. Nice 2-person stun by Artie, but the stun goes off anyways, and that's going to be a big one. 200. The slow from Atmo is annoying, but it's not enough. Soul Assumption even thrown out. Now with Grave Chill, will they continue to dive this? Probably not, but this is a tri-lane that is pretty much creep skipping here, grabbing the wave and getting kills. 4-1 now here for Trial Run as they look to just run away with this game. Game 1 was very, very dominant. This one, even a little closer, actually. So we'll see if Rewind can dig deep and bring home a win here, or at least contest a little bit in Game 2.
Yep, one of the biggest issues right now, though. Wow, that was a really needless TP top. Puck didn't have his coil. If he had coil, it makes a lot more sense to go up top to help his Puck. But in fact, Lina could actually have died there. If he had gotten one more right click off and then the follow-up Sunstrike, he would have went down. Unfortunately, doesn't have mana for that, though. But we haven't talked much about the top lane, and check out the CS. It's really in favor of the Invoker. Almost expected, I would say, though.
Yeah, especially since there's not even elevation in the mid lane to maybe exploit, get the creep on the high ground if you're Puck, and have some lane control. Actually, wow, in the mid lane, that must be that Entangle we were talking about being pretty annoying. Lifestealer goes down, solo killed by Brocraft, which I feel like is interesting, and it's going to be already on the Lina that will find the top. 6-minute rune, its illusion picks it up, and like you said, that TP top was really kind of useless and hurting the bot lane even more. They can't get a lot done, and actually in trouble. The cat's running away, the Earth Shock goes out, Magic Missile, Grave Chill, and everything overpowers there. I think maybe Hadjinx could die here, but, well, won't even. Ponpon's there also low, wants to throw the stun. Will he suicide off of that? No, he won't. Gets low, but still lives.
They had vision of him channeling the stun. I think if Visage knew, he could have maybe tried to run up there and get the kill. They wouldn't have been able to do anything. Ursa was too low. Did he skill a second point? Oh no, he's gone for the third point in his poison
Viper,
attack.
not Visage.
Sorry, Viper. Yeah. Wow, too many V heroes. I'm getting
yeah,
confused.
All
things fall.
But yeah, I think a second point in Nether Toxin would have helped him a lot more, just for the added damage to heroes, rather than the third point in poison attack.
Yeah, I feel like with the change in poison attack having no cooldown, it's way better to go sort of a 1-3-1 build with Nether Toxin being maxed up. You get a lot of damage out of that. Oh, in the mid lane, another Entangle Brocraft. The RNG is with him. He sacrificed some creep earlier to the RNG gods. Is he in that much more trouble still? Turns back to fight to get some HP, and the stun out! Nice. Whoa, is thrown. Whoa, did you see that? It followed to the creepy infested and yet didn't stun or hurt it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Bot lane already in trouble. Soul Assumption to fly. It's going to be Visage picking up the kill on the Lina. Lina drops. Lacat's also still in trouble, trying to run it out there. Atmo, he's like, I can slow you guys, but it's not quite enough.
I don't understand why Puck isn't helping that lane. He had a TP, he had full mana. Instead, he's just going to stay top. I mean, yeah, you want to try to do something against the Invoker, but he isn't. Invoker 54 and 21. A ridiculous creep score so far in the top lane for him. He's having the time of his life here. He doesn't have to move. He's not getting ganked. The ganks that could have come were just pretty noticeable. The Lina TPing top when Puck wasn't 6, and he could easily avoid that. And he's just doing whatever he wants. He already has his 2 Forged Spirits up as well, and gonna put a lot of pressure now.
Gets a stun off onto Hadjinx on the Ursa. The slow is here, but is it gonna be enough? One more attack will do it. Hadjinx with another kill. Now onto a killing spree over to the mid lane. We see a Lifestealer dying as well. Lone Druid gonna pick up that one, and that's another Smoke Gank rotation. I believe Ponpon just smoked up himself as well as the Familiars while Visage stayed bot lane. So some next level tactics going out there by Trial Run. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. I think, you know, it's 10-1 again, and this is the exact same score that it was last time. In fact, the score was 14-1 at the GG. So, looking to have a kind of similar run here in this game for Trial Run.
Indeed. They seem to be a pretty strong team. The notable performances they had actually hold that thought. Puck in trouble, will get away. They had some notable performances versus a couple good teams, and let me see if I can't find that real quick.
Chibiusa. They 2-0'd Chibiusa, I believe. So
Chibiusa's Minions, who is a team that has always been, I'd say, pretty good. But as of late, they've been better than they have been. So, I mean, they're a pretty good team, and it's impressive that Trial Run 2-0'd them. They just walked over them. I didn't see the games, but we'll just say walked over for the sake of Trial Run playing right now so well.
Oh, in the mid lane, though. Yeah, the stun goes off. Look how much damage Lina took. Like 60% of her health or something. They're going to get the kill on the Alchemist, I think, though. Hopefully. Yeah, they're going to get a return kill. So 12-2 now. But unfortunately, Viper went down as well. And nice Rage to deal with the Soul Assumption coming off from the Visage. It would have done a lot of damage to him. Venge almost getting the Visage too, but instead having to run for his life. Do these birds have stun? No, they don't.
They do not, which means they have damage. I actually think they already used a lot of the damage. They back off, hoping for another Admiral Bulldog-esque Entangle as Brocraft to continue to chase. Had the Phase Boots, and Brocraft actually going for a Hand of Midas here. Has it finished up if he...
It's late
well,
as
he's
hell.
got the money for it. And yeah, it's not that well-timed of a Midas. I feel like he didn't need to go for that.
He didn't have to go Phase. He didn't have to go Phase on the bear. If he was going to be greedy like this, he should have just gone straight for the Midas. But, of course, we were mentioning the Trial Run's victory over Chibiusa. I really respect Chibiusa's team because mainly due to the fact that they are a professional team. They take Dota seriously, and they try to keep their practices regular and work hard to becoming better. And the fact that they 2-0'd a team that, you know, takes itself seriously like that is really respectable for Trial Run. And, you know, it's really showing in their performance today.
Yeah, absolutely, and they had to upset another team, or maybe not upset. I mean, actually, for Trial Run, it's a team, a name I've seen as competitors or on the matches here for CEVO Season 3, but not a team with any players that I had heard of before or known, but now I'm always going to be on the lookout for these guys, whether it's in matchmaking or just more CEVO games here. They seem to be, maybe even NEL, I don't know if any of them are involved in that.
I feel like I'm watching this game on Rewind, hint hint, because the same thing, they're doing the exact same thing that they did the last game when they were found themselves in a bad situation, which is bring everyone mid, quick, do something, but it looks like the engagement mid is going to happen. Alchemist actually melts right before Avenge does, so a 1-for-1 so far. This looks really good. A 3-man coil there from the Puck, and Visage taking a lot of damage. He's going to get off a last soul assumption to kill. It is 2-for-2 now, and the fight continues. Ursa has entered the fray, as well as the Bear. Lone Druid picking off the Viper, and Makes just running for his life.
Can they get one more Spear Bear? Won't be able to attack, and then the Earth Shock knocking away, but here comes the Sunstrike from Phaeton. Well, you know, casually pushing a tier 3 tower right here in only 12.5 minutes, as well as picking up a kill with the Sunstrike in the middle lane. Barocraft with a triple kill here in the mid lane, doing very, very nicely. 17-4 at only 12.5 minutes in, and is it still an Ogre here? Just pushing down the tower.
Half health. It's just like, he hasn't left that lane. He's just like chilling here the entire game. Decides, you know what, I'm just going to help with Sunstrikes. Whatever. And it's working. I mean, he's really, really farmed. Gets the cold snap off on Venge while she runs away, forced to use the stun. The Yules, no, it doesn't matter. He has no mana. And they could actually notice this and go on the Invoker right now if they wanted to. But doesn't seem like they want to.
He's got no mana, but he does have over 150 damage in just 13 minutes on an Invoker with, what, 6 points or 4 or 5 points there in Exort. So he attacks for quite a bit there, and those last 2 or 3 auto attacks he gets in there on the Vengeful Spirit bring her down, and now it's a Roshan attempt here. The first one of the game didn't work out so nicely for Trial Run. They actually almost lost or gave up the first blood there, but now they go back in, and Hatjinx with a Vlad, with a Blink and Phase Boots, the 3 most core items on Ursa. They were online at 12.5 minutes, and there's the Roshan going down at 13:34.
Yep, and with that Rosh, the extra gold, Alk is really close to finishing his mech, and I really hope Invoker goes for a Blink Dagger to help with Ursa's Blink. And yeah, fight looks like it's about to start mid.
2-man coil goes off onto the melee carry and support there, and they both are going to break it. Hatjinx blinks out of it into Alina stun. There's the Yule Scepter being used up on the Viper. Going to buy some time for Hatjinx to get close. That's a pretty nice setup spell there for the Ursa as well. Verithus, tries to turn it, takes 2 Fury Swipes, gets burst down by the rest of that team. Of course, that Ursa had an Aegis, so you got to kind of question the Lifestealer even committing into that. Maybe he could have got away, but actually maybe unlikely, as we see the Dire here just running over Rewind at the moment. Even a Deafening Blast can be thrown out, so now there's points in Wex, and well, once again, maybe two of the fastest GGs that we've cast here. Trial Run, absolutely running over Rewind here tonight. Why did this outro music in-game is so loud? Let's see. So the only 2 losses to talk more about Trial Run, maybe a little bit more of an unknown team, but given their current record, we're going to be seeing a lot more of them here over on Play CEVO as we cast Season 3, as we're about halfway through. Tonight, actually, we're halfway through at Week 4, Game 1. Of course, actually, what is today? Today's Monday? Tuesday, okay. Thursday we'll start Week 4, Game 2, but Trial Run, the only teams they've lost to are top 5, who we've seen quite a bit of and maybe are the favorites here in Season 3, and they also took a loss to Typical Mistakes, who are also a very, very good team.
Yeah, definitely. I think top 5 and Typical Mistakes, both of those teams are probably the favorites.
And the other win they had was versus Armada Gaming, a team we've seen here on the CEVO Season 3 in-game ticket a couple times. So Armada Gaming, they definitely know what's going down in the Dota world, and they were maybe caught off guard by Trial Run. Some players I haven't heard of, maybe they haven't heard of either, but like I said earlier, going to be keeping an eye out. Absolutely. And yeah, well, I guess we can do just the outro now. I'm Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at HeliumBrella. You can see it there on the overlay. Casting with me is Orbit, also plays for Mike Chan Dota. You can follow him on Twitter as well at Orbit Dota. And anything else you'd like to say, Orbit, before we close it out?
A pretty solid series, a pretty solid showing by Trial Run. Definitely looking forward to seeing more of them in the future. And stay tuned on Play CEVO. Remember, normally Monday and Thursday, but you know, sometimes there are games that happen on Tuesdays as well, and we're here to cast them.
Yeah, as Play CEVO continues to be a multi-game stream here, or a multi-game offering, however you want to phrase it. We'd like to be going live 3-4 nights a week with either CSGO or Dota 2. There's also a secondary stream, Play CEVO-1, so sometimes you'll find CSGO here, sometimes you'll find Dota 2, and I hope you guys do follow. And when we do get that partnership set up, I hope you guys subscribe as well. And we'll see you around on Thursday for another exciting match. Stay tuned for at CEVO.com or even Reddit for some of the posts and information about that. And yeah, I guess we're going to be heading out. So thanks for stopping by, everyone. I'll throw on some music in the meantime.